Why was the Battle of Chickamauga so deadly? Imagine fighting in a dense forest where visibility is limited, and every step could be your last. That's what made the Battle of Chickamauga one of the bloodiest fights of the Civil War. Fought over 3 days in September 1863 in northwest Georgia, it involved about 125,000 soldiers. That's nearly equal numbers on both sides, with the Confederates slightly outnumbering the Union forces. When so many troops clash, casualties tend to be high, but Chickamauga's numbers went well beyond the usual. Over 34,000 soldiers were killed, wounded, or captured. The Union lost around 16,000, and the Confederates lost over 18,000. That makes it the second deadliest battle of the entire war, only surpassed by Gettysburg. The high death toll came from several factors working together. First, both armies committed most of their available forces, which meant huge numbers of men fighting at once. The terrain also played a big role. The battlefield was heavily wooded with thick underbrush, making it hard to see and communicate. Soldiers fought at very close range because artillery and cavalry were less effective in such dense woods. The fighting was fierce and lasted for 3 days, with attacks and counterattacks that often turned into brutal hand-to-hand combat. Key positions like Horseshoe Ridge and Snodgrass Hill saw some of the most intense fighting. Command mistakes also added to the chaos. Union General William Rosecrans made a critical error by creating a gap in his line, which Confederate General James Longstreet exploited to break the Union center. This caused a chaotic retreat, though General George Thomas, known as the Rock of Chickamauga, led a stubborn stand that allowed part of the Union Army to withdraw in order. The confusion and rapid shifts in the battlefield line made fighting even more deadly. Officers suffered heavy losses too, with 10 Confederate generals killed or wounded, and many junior officers on both sides falling. Losing leaders made it harder for units to stay organized or retreat safely. Even though the Confederates claimed victory, the high casualties weakened both armies. The Confederates lost about 20% of their effective strength, a heavy blow, while the Union Army retreated to Chattanooga, where it would later regroup and fight again. The ferocity of the battle and the large number of casualties left a lasting mark. Chickamauga became the first national military park in the United States, helping to preserve and remember this brutal fight. So the battle was so deadly because it combined large armies, difficult terrain, intense fighting, mistakes in command, and heavy officer losses. All these factors created a perfect storm that led to one of the most violent and costly battles of the Civil War.